On November 30th of 2023, together with the national leads of 3 major international charities, including Doctors Without Borders, I met with Prime Minister Trudeau's office. 1 year ago, we described evidence of war crimes being committed by Israel. This included targeting of food and water, blocking humanitarian aid, the disproportionate killing of women and children. 1 year ago, we demanded the Government of Canada publicly demand for a ceasefire, that the Canadian government publicly condemn Israel for targeting hospitals and targeting healthcare workers, and that the Government of Canada publicly condemn Israel for widespread violations of international humanitarian law, including the crime of genocide. 1 year ago, our demands were ignored. Requests for a follow-up meeting declined. Now, we are live streaming Gazawi's worst nightmare, where we and Gazawis had faith in international humanitarian law. Instead, we found the Canadian government's complicity. Failure to hold Israel to account then has resulted in tens of thousands of dead Palestinian women and children. Israel has killed over 18,000 children. Every university destroyed. Most hospitals destroyed. Israel targeting water, fuel, food, blocking humanitarian aid. All of this was clear in November 2023, 1 year ago. We communicated this to the Prime Minister's office then. I stand before you today, one of 25 Canadian healthcare workers who've been to Gaza during the genocide. We have borne witness to Israel's war crimes, forming a collective group called Eyewitness Gaza that includes hundreds of health workers from the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada, and lawyers of international humanitarian law. We unanimously agree Israel is committing genocide. Now, for the media here that has been shy to use this word, you must stop censoring this word. The French press's use of the word genocide was a critical step in ending the Rwandan genocide. Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. It's time you start saying that. In August of this year, we sent a letter warning the Canadian government of the cost of their inaction, demanding immediate action to lift the Israeli blockade on humanitarian aid, to urge for unrestricted access of medical and surgical supplies to Gaza, to enact a full two-way arms embargo, and to comply with the decisions of the International Court of Justice and ICC. Still today, we have no response, despite this letter being signed by every single Canadian health worker who's been to Gaza during this genocide. As witnesses of that genocide, we are unified. None of us want to be here. We want the politicians of this country to do their job and end this genocide. But instead, Justin Trudeau and Melanie Joly chose to listen to the Israel lobby groups. These groups' positions have opposed a ceasefire, denied Israel's war crimes, denied Israel's genocide, disrespected the international court's rulings. This is foreign interference. Why are you willing to undermine decades of international humanitarian law for Israel lobby groups who want to prolong a genocide? We, as Eyewitness Gaza, have all been to Gaza. We know what we saw. We refuse to stop talking about the genocide. So Justin Trudeau and Melanie Joly, ignore us at your peril. Justin Trudeau and Melanie Joly, you must call openly for Israel to stop blocking humanitarian aid, food, and water. You must publicly respect and comply with the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice decisions. This includes support for a Palestinian state at the United Nations. You must enact a full two-way arms embargo now. Not 1 penny of Canadian money can go to support a state that is committing genocide. Now, I said before, as many of my colleagues did, I don't want to be here. But like my Eyewitness Gaza colleagues, I take my responsibility very seriously. Anything I can do to stop a genocide, I will. But as a humanitarian and as a physician, I can't do this myself. A genocide should be ended by international leaders like Justin Trudeau and Melanie Joly when they decide to take their responsibility seriously too. Our Palestinian brothers and sisters, they deserve to live in dignity, without occupation, and without genocide. Justin Trudeau and Melanie Joly, your actions up to this point have supported Israel's genocide. It's time for you to change course. It's time for you to act.